The negative things Max Verstappen said about the Las Vegas Grand Prix before the race led to a meeting between him and an F1 official, according to the Dutch newspaper De Telegraaf. As the weekend started, the three-time world champion was the loudest critic. The Red Bull champion called the Las Vegas GP, which is now F1's crowning glory race, nothing more than a show than racing, which made the Dutch driver unhappy. He wasn't happy about having to stand on a raised platform to wave and smile at the crowd at Wednesday's launch party, so he wasn't afraid to say what he thought. "For me, you can skip this," said the reigning world champion. "We are just standing up there, looking like a clown. I mean, yeah. Some people like the show a bit more. I don't like it at all. I grew up just looking at the performance side of things, and that's how I see it as well. So for me, I like to be in Vegas, but not so much for racing. We are not a stakeholder, so we just go with it. They decide what they do, right? I would do the same if I was the owner. I wouldn't listen to the drivers. It's my sport. I would do with it what I want if that would be the case." He also called the Las Vegas track National League and the Monaco GP track Premier League. He spoke passionately at the drivers' press conference about the types of tracks that make him love F1, but Las Vegas wasn't one of them. According to The Telegraph, Max met with someone from F1 a few hours before Sunday's Grand Prix, which he won. It's not clear, though, whether F1 asked for the meeting or Verstappen himself asked for it. After this meeting, it seems that the attitude of the world champion changed a bit, singing "Viva Las Vegas" after crossing the finish line and declaring what a good time he had while racing at the Las Vegas GP. "It was a lot of fun there," he said. "With the DRS as well, that helped a lot for very good racing here. Also, I think the low degradation with the tarmac here, you can really push on the tires, which I think was good. So yeah, it was a lot of fun out there. I hope everyone enjoyed it a bit, and we definitely did. Already excited to come back here next year and hopefully try to do something similar." Jos Verstappen, his father, told the newspaper that he thought his son could have been more polite in how he spoke. "I do think he can say things, but in this case in a neater way. I told him that directly. Once in a while he needs that too. I also think the battery is running out a bit with a lot of people. But that Max likes racing, you saw that today. I do understand his opinion, but you can't kick blindly at everything." Nico Rosberg, another world champion, talked about the benefits of those activities and the positives of the entertainment. Rosberg thinks that drivers should be ready for a lot of commercial appearances over the course of the weekend because of how big and impressive the Las Vegas show was that F1 planned and promoted from the ground up. And since drivers like Max Verstappen are said to make $55 million a season, drivers should be able to take the marketing pill. "What we like to do is just drive the race car," Rosberg said in an interview with the Daily Mail. "And of course, in our job at F1, there is so much that we have to do also around the actual driving the race car. Driving the race car is actually like the smallest part of what we do, and especially all the media work and all the work with the sponsors. In Vegas, there's so much sponsor work that a driver needs to do, going from one dinner appearance to the next, one activation to the next. And we drivers, that's like the part that we least like about our job. We always want to try and minimize that because it also can negatively impact our performance on the racetrack if we get to the actual driving and are tired or something, or not concentrated." He continued. "And that's why very often drivers will be a bit critical when it's too much sponsor work and activation and entertainment and show. Vegas, of course, was one of the biggest shows of the year for F1, so that's why some drivers were critical initially. But it's part of the game, isn't it? And we earn a great amount of money as well, and it's thanks to the sponsors, thanks to the fans. So we just always have to accept that we need to dedicate some time to give back to sponsors and give back to fans because they're the ones who pay our salaries." The next and the last race of this season is Abu Dhabi, which is over 8,000 miles away of the US and a 12-hour time difference. Because of this, Max suggested a plan for the future US races, which he would organize as a tour, in which the F1 drivers would attend in one run around the States. In the press conference after the race, Verstappen was asked what changes he would like to see in Las Vegas. He said, "The timing for sure. The other thing for next year, maybe that is not possible, but to maybe make it a bit better traveling also to Abu Dhabi, Because at the moment, it's such a big time shift that, especially at the end of the season when everyone is already a bit tired, I think it's a little bit much. So maybe it would be ideal to find a different kind of date, because I find that maybe we need to do more of an American tour. I know, of course, maybe for ticket sales, I don't know if that's ideal. So maybe we can find a bit of a solution there. I think the 12-hour time zone shifts and also completely different timings for racing also I find that a bit much. Charles Leclerc also talked about late Las Vegas session times at the press conference after the race. However, he believes that F1 has fully recovered from the problems in practice on Thursday. I think mostly that's the fact that we have been driving so late, Leclerc stated. I can see the point obviously with the audience in Europe. I don't know if that's even the point or why we have been racing so late, but I felt like it was a bit on the limit. And also for the temperatures, it was very, very tricky, so this is definitely one thing I would like to change for next year. On the other hand, as I've said, since the beginning of the weekend, I've really enjoyed it. And I am especially happy to see that we finished this weekend on a high note because it was hurting me to see the sport that I love so much starting from the wrong foot on Thursday. But the fact that we had an amazing race, I think, makes it all up, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, not much more to change apart from the timing. Another F1 personality that reacted on Max's remarks was David Coulthard, who compared the Red Bull driver with Elon Musk because of their lack of success with their free speeches. He said, "I'm sure he would have that conversation, but Max is kind of the Elon Musk of the driving force, isn't he? He believes in freedom of speech." Of course, F1 owners and Vegas race promoters Liberty Media won't like it. They're just thinking about bottom-line investment in. They're cold, hard business people at the end of the day. But one shoe doesn't fit all, and Max fits into that grumpy section. That's who his character is. Be true to yourself. During the Channel 4's coverage, Jamie Chadwick defended the world champion by saying, "He loves to race. He gets in that car, he just wants to win. He doesn't care much for the rest of it. That's his focus. He doesn't worry about whatever else is going on." But a lot of people do care about that, and I think that's why a lot of eyeballs are on the sport this weekend. More people are watching it than ever, so I think we've got to look at the positives as well, but we can see why he's being the way he is. That's Max, and everything he does, it's just him. You've got to respect that. He's a 3-time world champion for a reason, and I have a lot of admiration for what he does. He is himself at times. I'm sure Red Bull are frustrated by things he says, but we love it. What do you think about this reactions? And how excited are you about the next race, which will give us the final fight between Ferrari and Mercedes for the second place in the constructors' standings? Thank you for watching our video, and please subscribe to our channel for more F1 news.